Hey guys, Coach Charles here with Fit Health in Herndon, Virginia. So we just finished up those 8 weeks of 8 different behaviors you want to focus on to achieve permanent weight loss. So over the years I've gotten lots of questions about weight loss, how to do it, what's all the best things to do, here's this problem, here's that problem. And lately they come together that here's my top 5. This may or may not apply to you, but follow along and see if we can get going with this. How do I get started? That's question 1. How do I get started? I've heard this literally thousands of times over the past 11 years. It can be really difficult if you're years and years away from working out, or if you've never really worked out. How do I get started losing weight? Perhaps the easiest thing to do for you would be to pick one thing and change that one thing. So you could either start working out, or you could start changing your diet, right? Or you could even just start working on changing your sleep, because those are the 3 big levers for permanent weight loss, right? You gotta change what you're eating, so all of your eating habits. You've got to change your exercise habits, and you have to change your sleeping habits, right? So give your body the stimulus it needs, refuel it with great stuff, good food, and then allow your body to have the rest and the sleep cycles that it needs to rebuild itself, right? Okay, so how do you get started? Pick one area to focus on initially. Because if you're asking this question and you're just all frustrated, you're trying to do everything at one time, it's probably not going to work out. Give yourself time to allow your body to transform. If you're obese today, it's probably going to take 6 months to a year to 18 months to get into really good shape. So if you start a little slow and you focus on one thing, but you keep going and you keep working on all these behaviors that we've been discussing, then you're going to get there. But if that journey just seems way too long and you try and do everything all at one time, you're going to spend 3 hours a day working out and making all the perfect foods and that type of thing, and you do that for 3 days in a row, and then suddenly on the 4th day you don't have any time at all, the whole thing goes out the window. And a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, a month goes by, another year goes by, and you're no closer to reaching your end goals than you were when you did the everything crazy for 3 days. It's just too much. So pick one thing. If you're going to improve your sleeping habits, maybe start going to bed 30 minutes or an hour earlier every day and say, this week, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set an alarm. When the alarm goes off, I'm going to bed. That's it. That's what I'm doing. Okay? Don't try to make it too complex at the beginning if you're really struggling with getting started. Now, let's say that you're okay with doing a little bit more. Then the answer, and you just really don't know what to do, the simple answer there is go get a professional to guide you through the process. Find yourself a personal trainer that you like and trust and think can help you get to your goal. And then do what they tell you to do. It's going to get you there a lot faster than trying to figure it out on your own. Okay? All right, good. Now, question 2. How do I get rid of this belly? Man, I've heard that so many times, at least hundreds of times. It comes in the form of, what exercises can I do to get rid of this belly? Or what special vegetable can I eat to get rid of this belly? Or can I do this special cleanse to get rid of this belly? But there's a common theme, if you will, that comes to all this. What I hear when I hear somebody ask, oh, how do I get rid of this belly, is what's the shortcut to getting rid of the fat that causes my belly to extend out beyond my waist and my belt and all of this kind of thing. So there's no specific exercise that's going to allow you to just get rid of that belly. There's no individual change in your food or drug that you're going to be able to take that's going to get rid of that belly. Right? Your body is going to decide when it's going to pull that body fat away. And it's unfortunate, but some people's bodies simply won't pull the fat from their belly until the very end. They've pulled all the fat off of their arms, they've pulled all the fat off of their legs, but it's not getting down to the belly until the very end. And I feel for you, I really do, and that's just awful. But that's your body, and so all I can tell you is to keep doing the things that has been pulling off the body fat from the rest of your body, and eventually your body will decide to pull it off from your belly. Another problem that people run into is their belly is getting smaller, but it's not getting smaller as quickly as the rest of their body is. So like, okay, I've been doing these great arm exercises and that makes my arms get nice and small, and I've been doing these great leg exercises so my legs are getting nice and small, but I need to like quadruple the amount of exercise I'm doing on my stomach to get it smaller. That's not going to work. Again, it's just your body deciding where and when to pull the body fat off of your body, right? So just keep doing all the things that are that's causing your body to build muscle and to lose body fat, and be patient. I know that's hard, but be patient and wait for your body to take it off. Because once you get down to 10 or 12% for a man body fat, 10 or 12% body fat for a man, most of that belly is going to be gone. For a woman, once your body fat gets down around, say, 20%, something like that, 18, 19, 20%, most of that belly fat is going to be gone. All right. So if you're a guy and you're sitting around 20% body fat and that belly's still there, you've just got to lose more body fat overall. Another 5, 8, 9% body fat. It will come off. And for a woman, if you're sitting at 27, 28% body fat and you've still got that belly, you're going to have to get that body fat percentage down for your entire body. Get it down into like the 18, 19, 20% range. Okay. Now, third question. I don't care about losing weight. How do I tone up my arms and legs? All right, so this is a person who'll come up to me, and if they look at a chart, they'll say that their weight is between the high and low range it should be for their height and their age on this chart that they've seen. Or their doctors told them, your weight's fine, you don't need to lose any weight, but you don't appear to be very fit, and so you need to increase your fitness level. Perhaps you should start running, maybe you should go for a walk, maybe you should start making changes to your diet. So this idea of not losing weight, right? My weight is fine. I weigh 135 pounds, whatever that happens to be. But I want to have great arms and legs. And so here's what really needs to happen. You need to build some additional muscle in your arms and legs, but then you need to lose some body fat so that those muscles can be seen, right? So like if this shirt was really thick, you wouldn't be able to see my bicep and shoulder through the shirt. And so if you have a big layer of body fat in place, it's not going to show the muscles and the curvature of the muscles, no matter that your weight is within the standard range, okay? So again, this comes back down to you individually. Just like I was answering the question about how do I get rid of this belly, for you it might be that your belly is not very large, but you carry more body fat on your arms and your legs, and the reason why you can't see those muscles is because you need to reduce the amount of body fat that you are carrying, okay? But if you don't have very much muscle mass underneath, so this would be the case where, especially women have told me, I feel squishy, right? I only wear a size 4, but I can stick my finger all the way in. I'm squishy. You do have to build up some muscle mass to give that nice curvature, and then you have to take away the body fat so that it can be seen. Okay, so even if your weight is technically okay by all of the doctors and the scales that you see online, the charts, I mean, that you see online, you may need to lose 10 or 15 pounds in order for your body to show shapely arms and legs, okay? And at the same time, you may need to put on 5 or 6 pounds of muscle to make that happen as well. So don't give up, keep working at it, and if you're really, really frustrated, find yourself a professional that can help you figure out exactly what's going on and help you get to your end goals. Let's go on to the next question. This one is a really interesting question. It's been confusing for so many people. How can I lose weight? My scale won't budge, but I've dropped a full dress size. Or for a guy, I've moved a couple of notches on my belt, but the scale still says 210 pounds. I don't understand what's going on. I can't lose any weight. All right. So this is that whole discussion of how much does muscle weigh for a particular size and how much does fat weigh for a particular size. So if a pound of muscle was the size of my fist, and then I put another hand on top of it, that's a pound in total of body fat. So if I lose a pound of body fat and I build a pound of muscle, I've taken this hand off and I'm smaller, right? So the belt's gonna fit better, right? That dress is gonna fit better. Those shorts are gonna fit better, but the scale's not moving because you are building as much muscle mass as you're losing in body fat. So that's a great thing. Don't worry about that at all. Keep doing the things you are doing. Keep measuring. Measure your gut, measure your chest, measure your thighs, measure your arms. And you can see the difference in the tape measurements, and then you know you're losing body fat and not muscle, right? And you can also just see, like, hey, are you getting tighter, right? Tighter around the arms and the legs. Yeah, so a lot of people are worried about this. I get that question a couple times a month, every month, year after year after year, constantly worried about that. I'm not able to lose any weight. I see it online in the forums all the time, and it's one of these things where you feel like, well, everybody must know this by now, but they don't. So if you've lost 10 pounds, if you've lost 2 inches on your belt, right, and you still weigh exactly the same, and you thought you would have lost 10 pounds by now, don't worry about it. Just keep going, keep eating better, keep exercising, and keep getting that better sleep. Let's see what the next question is. Number 5, how am I supposed to work out when I am exhausted? All right. So this particular question is one of the videos that I made years ago that's gotten over 20,000 views. And that's a lot of views compared to most of my videos. So this question is on a lot of people's minds. I don't get asked the question nearly as often as some of the other questions, but obviously the internet has taken a look at this and said, I need to know. All right, so here's the situation. You get up, you get ready for work, you work all day, you get home, you cook dinner, you eat, and before you know it, it's 9:30 at night, and all you want to do is collapse on the couch and do absolutely nothing for 2 or 3 hours, and then get up and do it again the next day. So, the easiest thing you can do is what we discussed a few weeks ago of putting on your workout clothes. All right, so even if you're just completely exhausted, go put on a t-shirt and some shorts and just kind of see if anything happens, right? Does your mood change? Now, tell yourself, I'm going to do one thing. That's it. I'm just going to do one thing. Maybe I'm going to do some air squats or body weight squats. So I'm not going to use a bar or anything. I don't want to go to the gym. I'm too tired to go to the gym. I'm too tired to do anything difficult in any way. I don't want to have to think about this. All I want to do is, how am I supposed to work out? How am I supposed to lose weight when I'm just too exhausted to do anything? All right. So just change your clothes and do something, anything, one thing. Maybe do some squats. Maybe sit up against the wall and do a wall squat. Maybe just do one set of push-ups. Okay, so here's the really critical thing. We are trying to build habits here by implementing behaviors that work well for losing body fat, gaining muscle, having more energy, and these types of things. Not every single day are you going to feel like doing your best workout. In fact, many days you won't feel like doing your best workout at all. Many days you won't feel like eating the healthiest of foods, right? So just pick the one thing you can do and get that done when you're really exhausted. And it's amazing how often you aren't nearly as exhausted as you thought you were. Mentally, yes, you are exhausted. You had 12 meetings today, people are yelling at you, kids are fighting all over the place, your car broke down, like everything is happening all at one time. The last thing you want to do is work out. But if you haven't done any physical exertion during the day, your body actually needs that physical exertion. So just do a couple of things. Folks who follow my program, I'll tell them, just do the warm-ups. It's like 7 to 10 minutes. And even if you don't think you can do the warm-ups, start with the squats, then maybe hit the lunges, maybe the toe touches. And your body just naturally starts to fall into the pattern that it's been doing for a while. And you just do as much as you can that day. And don't be upset with yourself if you only do 1 exercise or 3 exercises or 5 exercises. And then you don't do everything else you want to do. Maybe you thought you were going to get an hour-long walk in today and it doesn't happen. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just do the one thing to maintain your habit, to maintain your behavior change that you've made. And then get ready for the next day, right? If you're exhausted today and tomorrow you don't want to be as exhausted, make sure you get some veggies in, right? Always have some backup veggies available, maybe some fruit, an apple, an orange, something like that. And you're going to feel better tomorrow. Get into bed, right? Okay, but here's another situation. People chronically only getting like 5 hours sleep and they have like a manual labor kind of job. This is a different scenario, right? In this kind of scenario, you may need to go in the opposite direction and do something like some deep breathing exercises. Go sit against the wall and spend 5 minutes just breathing very deeply into your belly and completely exhaling, right? Or maybe you realize that in the kind of physical activity you were doing, you did everything except for a pressing movement. So maybe you only do push-ups that evening, right? Because you work the whole rest of your day. You're constantly picking things up and putting them into cars or trucks and moving them all around. The only thing you weren't doing is pushing away, and so you do that as your exercise. Okay, so the key with this is to determine what's going on and just do something, one thing. It may not be an exercise, it may be deep breathing. And deep breathing is really important. You'll be amazed at how well you feel about that. I'm gonna have to do some videos on deep breathing exercises. All right, I'll catch you guys next time. Let me know if you have any questions or comments down below. Bye-bye.